All right, fam, it is bounce day. I do think this is bounce day. Again, nothing is financial advice. I want you to look through this 5-10 minute video every single day. I do these updates here. And if you have not been following them, I think you're missing out. So go and subscribe to the channel. But please, please, please pay attention to what I'm going to say today. So I have been, as you know, I have called the bottom, then I called the top, then now I said that we are going to buy. I've been guiding you through here. Why I am potentially buying today. I'm going to look at this and I'm going to exactly tell you what I'm doing. If you look at the daily chart here, we did have a pullback to the daily OB, right? And from right here. And from this daily OB, we had a bounce, order blocks, demand zone, right? This is where the new high was created. There's massive, massive buying pressure here. So this level, I knew that we were going to bounce. This is why I called the bottom, as you see here, right here on September 3rd. If you go into the 4 hour, you see it exactly. This is where September 3rd was. So I said this is the bottom because we came back to the daily, we made a higher high and then bounced from there, okay? So what happens now is that I've been saying that we're going to come back, in my opinion, to also have to say, because of YouTube, nothing is financial advice. Do what you want to do. I'm just sharing my own opinion, so YouTube doesn't ban our videos. But I'm just sharing with you what I do with my own money. You do whatever you want to do with yours. So if you look here, I said that we're going to come back to the 50%, and that's what exactly did. We came back to the 50%, and the question is what is going to happen here? This is why I told you that I'm not manually longing just now, because I don't know if we're going to drop lower down here into the daily demand. I have zero doubt that we're going to bounce. The question is where, okay? So if we come down here, we might drop lower. We might go even to the daily low. Like, I don't exactly know where we're going to bounce. This is why I started all these bots that are all in profit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a link in the description to all my bots. You can copy them because you can't time the market here. You would just want to start layering in. I am layering in with my grid bots that I set up with my own criterias. If you use our link in the description, you can get a $1,000 sign-up bonus as well. And you can just simply copy these if you want. Of course, do your own research. But these are the bots that I'm personally running. All of them are in profit here. Some of them are not. For example, this Pengu, which is a long-term. 𝗬𝗧 is not performing well. But most of them that we have taken are actually in profit. So go and check that out in the description. But I want to layer in here, right? So, but why do I think that we can potentially bounce today? The reason is because if you go down to the 15-minute charts, it's very important to know that every reversal, whatever you look at, starts with the lower time frame. Obviously, if you want to see a higher high formed, if you want to see this, if you want to see, there's a pullback, and if you want to see this on the 4-hour chart or the daily chart, you have to see this on the 15-minute chart, and you have to see this on the 1-minute chart. So everything starts with the lower time frame. So if you look down onto the 15-minute chart or even the 5-minute, you can look at the 5-minute for now, you will see something super interesting. You will see that we've been having built up liquidity here, which I usually talk about as a very good signal for market to go. Price always goes to liquidity. These are where people's place their stop losses, right? So if you longed in the bounce here, you probably put your stop loss here, and then it comes back down, and you think it's a retest, and people put their stop losses here. And these places usually tend to get liquidated. Now, once these levels are liquidated, which you see right here, there's even a close below. Is that a close below, actually? Let me just see. It is a close below. Okay, is it a close below to here? It is not a close below there. That's not that good, but it's still enough that we have a close below here. So once that is liquidated, as you see it is, we do have a liquidation wick and an immediate reversal. This is a very, very strong signal that once we took liquidity, meaning we stopped out all the long positions, we stopped them out. They had to sell into, and the market makers who want to buy in with size can buy into that selling pressure. If you're taking a long position, your stop loss is a sell, right? Because long means you're buying the position. When you get stopped out, for example, because you put your stop loss below this low, you get stopped out, meaning you have to sell your position. That causes a selling pressure, and someone with big size can buy that up and get into the market with big position without moving price that much. And that's when you see these kind of reversals. Now, one thing that I'm looking for is this seems to be a V-shaped recovery. The only thing I'm not happy about that it didn't make a V-shape on the 15-minute chart. It literally just came back to this OB. So what I'm really looking for today is I need to see a 15-minute market structure shift here. Again, very important. If you have not gotten into the bots, I would do it now. Like, I personally am already in, but if you haven't, I would do it now because this is the perfect time, in my opinion, even if we reject here, this is not going much lower on a short period of time. I think this week we are going to bounce, in my opinion. So what I'm looking for manual trades is that I want to see a higher high form here at 3.84, okay? So I want to see that high happen. Once that high happens, there are two things that can happen. One is that we just simply move on. I would not be surprised. There is built up liquidity. There is a massive fair value gap here and here. I would not be surprised if this starts rallying 2, 3, 4% on the total and 10, 15% on most coins, okay? I would not be surprised if that happens. But what can also happen is that we can just simply come back to this OB after we bounce here. We can come back to 50%. If that happens, I throw the house at it, okay? Like if we can see this pattern happen, I'm going to take heavy trades because I do believe that this is the bounce that is coming. So here's how I'm playing this. One, bots are running. Again, if you haven't done it, I do recommend you look into it. There's a link in the description. Go and copy these. Simply, you can just copy the setting. You don't copy my bots, but you can copy the settings if you want. I set these up that I have my own capital in. You can see all of them here. Some of them are in down, but some of them are up. So ultimately, we're massive profit. So go and check those out. But for manual trades, I am looking for a bounce here, and I am going to deploy. So I have a free Telegram. I'm going to let you know. For example, I posted this scalp yesterday. I'm going to discuss, but there's a link in the description to the free Telegram. You can just simply go there and see it. It will be down here. Join the Telegram and join the community, so you'll be able to join in there, and I will let you know when that happens, if that happens after the video. So it's very important to look out for that. And I'm going to add an open positions here. 2, 3x leverage positions, okay? Maybe it's going to be higher. We'll see. We'll see how the recovery goes. Maybe it's impulsive. Maybe it's not happening on London. Maybe it's happening here. We'll see. But I might open heavier positions. Stop loss can go to 2 places, okay? This is the opening of the positions because we might have the pullback if you're lucky. I'm going to deploy heavily here. But stop loss can go to 2 places. One, you can take this. You can take this at 1.7% down here, 3.77 trillion. That's great. Or you can take the daily low. That's a higher stop loss. That's like 7% on total, possibly 15, 20% on all the coins. But if you don't really want to bother that much in trading, you don't really want to monitor, I think you're making a mistake because 7-10 minutes a day with these videos and you're done. But if you don't, you can take a 2x leverage position potentially and just ride it all the way up. But be prepared that it can go down, it can liquidate you, or it can stop you out. So make sure that you have proper risk management. I'm also just very much focused on what I say so YouTube doesn't take our videos down. Okay, so that said, that's what I'm going to look for. TLDR, looking for the 15-minute market structure shift. When the 15-minute market structure, it's going to happen. I mean, it's obvious. It's a V-shaped recovery after liquidation. It's going to happen. I'm going to deploy a little bit. Once I deployed a little bit, I might even add to the bots. We'll see that. Once I deployed into different positions, I'm going to tell you what I'm buying in the Telegram. And so once I did that, I'm going to wait for a 50% retrace. If that happens, I'm probably going to take heavier positions. I'm going to let you know, but this could potentially be the bottom because this is just a retrace to the 50%. It's accumulating exactly to 50%. I've been calling for this level for a long time. It's not like something I figured out today. I've been waiting for this level. The level got hit. We had a liquidation. We have a higher high happening. So that can be the bottom. And I think the pump will be face melting going into Q4. These are the positions that I will take and ride it for the next 2 months. So it's worth taking the risk here. Even if we get stopped out, not a problem. We're going to get back in again if we bounce from a little bit lower. That said, I wanted to show you this. I took this pith scalp long yesterday from the 𝗧𝗥𝗓 ecosystem. The reason is very simple because I saw the market structure shift here. So it had a beautiful, decent recovery here, a V shape, and it had retested a 50. So even here, right? So the retest was actually happening here. So this is the perfect. Actually, I took it from here, I think, yeah. So that was wrong. But anyway, so if I waited, 50% would have been perfect. So I probably did it on the phone. Sorry about that. But anyway, I took this trade. I do think a couple of things. One, massive built-up liquidity. 2, massive fair value gaps. The same thing that I've been explaining. 3, it did have the 50% pullback now, and it seems to be having a V-shaped recovery. Can come up all the way up here to the 16.5. I am going to take some profits. You know, my TP level is up here at 16. That's like 11% bounce. So if that happens, I'm very happy to do that. I'm gonna update you about this trade as well. I do have this trade open here, so I'm up not that much, 13% now, but it's a 10x position, so it's not like insane, but I think it's doing fine. Here's my TP level, but I might move that as well as the market reacts. We've got to see the total market cap, guys. Ultimately, I do think it's a bounce day. I do think if you're not in the bots, I think it's you know, the problem with this is that I've been screaming about this, what I'm doing with my own money. Been screaming about this on the previous bottom. Not many listen. Look at this position here. So I took this pump position openly here with you. It's like I took it with you. This position, the pump position, was up like, you don't see it because I'm in the screen here, but the pump position was up like 500%. Now it's down, but I took the profits. Like I told you, I'm taking the profits as on the way we go up. This was at 500% of 3x leverage, and people told me I'm crazy for taking profits. I did. 11,000 realized and about 800 unrealized. I would have about $2,000 in this now, or 3,000 max. Now that I took the profits, I'm happy. So I'm actually gonna close this now. Like through this trade, I'm gonna close it with all the pump from buying going back. I think there will be a pullback on pump, and then we'll just get in. But I closed that pump position now. So I do have these positions here. I want you to consider, you know, looking into these. Oh, and I'm also gonna close the soul. I'm gonna close the soul. I'm gonna close this soul short as well. It's actually cool that I'm doing this now. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna take this for credit. I'm gonna share it in Telegram. But I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close this soul short as well. So I'm gonna take these positions once the time is right. And I just wanted to say that I have been screaming on the bottom that I'm taking these positions. Many of you listened, many of you didn't. This is the same time. These opportunities don't really come along a lot of times. So please just spend these 5-10 minutes every day. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, the bell notification, and also if you're not, please consider looking at the bots. I genuinely mean it. It makes you money. It's not you know, I'm not pushing this on you. You do your own research, or risk and whatever for YouTube as well and for you. But this is, I have my money in these. And this is the ones that we opened previously. Like on the previous dump, we opened ETH up 90%. We opened Athena up 2,000%. Opened AVAX up 50%. And you have to do nothing with them. So it works for you. It's amazing. Go and check them out. Link in the description. Come back for another one. I appreciate you. Let's bounce today. Let's go! Take care.